like to go ahead and call the June 12, 2012 meeting to order at 7:02. Kevin, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Dickerson. Here. Ms. Gerber.
Here.
Mr. Pollock.
Here.
Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mr. Thacker.
Here.
Ms. Elliott.
Here.
All present.
All right, stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. Let me go ahead and jump right into the approval of the minutes for May 22nd, 2012. Everybody had time to read them, so I'll make a, need a motion.
I'll make the motion, we accept the May 22nd
Second.
minutes.
First, I have a second. Kevin, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson. Yay. Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Pollock.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
All right, we also have June 5th, 2012 special meeting minutes. Anyone have any discussion over those? Hearing none, roll call vote.
We got a move
Make a
second.
motion, accept the minutes.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Make an
Hearing none.
amendment or something? Can we do a friendly amendment to revise it?
Sure.
In the first paragraph, it should be your meeting in special session.
Oh.
Oh. First line you got typo, it should be special instead of regular.
Regular instead of
Yeah.
special.
After reading them 6 or 7 times, your eyes go blind.
Everybody comfortable with that?
Make a motion as amended.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson. Yay. Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Pollock.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0 as amended.
All right. In front of you, you have the May 2012 bills. Everyone had a chance to look over those.
Were those in the stack of paper here?
Should be. You don't have them?
They were emailed to everyone.
Yeah, they are.
I tried to put that in now.
Oh, no, you know what, I printed mine at work, my lips.
Yes, yes, yours. I looked at it, but I have them.
As you go through them, you'll see that the largest expenses were for property acquisition.
You need one here, Chuck.
Oh, no, I don't. I gotta have that one. I looked at them at home, I just, it's nice to have in front of you when you vote on it, you know?
Anybody have any questions over the bills?
I see we're still buying salt.
Should be the last of it. We are actually storing it over in Claremont County, so we're good on salt. That'll be our last.
Yeah, you have to fulfill your contract, and that's what that was about.
I think it was 5 tons, I can't remember offhand, but it's 50. All told, it wasn't that big a purchase this time.
How many tons is this equivalent to, this cost?
Let me get down to here and find it.
It should be about 50.
50 tons.
Is it 50 tons?
So, okay.
Any other questions on the bills? Not, I entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we pay the bills.
Second it.
Motion and a second. Kevin, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Mrs. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Pollock.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
All right, we're gonna move into legislation. We have an ordinance in front of us for the vacation of a portion of Drake Drive. I'll open the floor if somebody's here for that vacation of Drake Drive.
Thank you.
My name's Mark Walker with Professional Engineering Group. I'm the surveyor on the project, and we're just asking for the vacation of the last portion of Drake Drive that essentially created a temporary turnaround before the next phase was built. And there's an existing temporary turnaround that functions the same as the proposed temporary turnaround that was platted, and by doing this, it allows us to get the bond released and have the county, or the township, or the village accept the street. I know I was here last time and we talked a little bit about it, and I think we left it as we were hoping maybe you guys would get some advice from your engineer. I don't know if that ever happened or not.
Should be a letter in the packet from Pat. It's pretty much the same letter you got before. All he pretty much tells you is what we can do with that vacate, as far as putting a guardrail, doing the signage and things like that.
He says all I ever got was pictures of signs. I mean, that's really all I got from his letter.
Should have a letter. You have a letter?
It's an email. You got an email check.
Oh, do that? Okay.
Yep.
I must have missed that one.
It's on your desk
Oh,
with the signs.
It's right there, Chuck. I would keep going there, you see it right there by his hand.
this one you just gave me. That was three.
Isn't there another one? Okay, maybe that's the only one we got.
That doesn't matter. I mean, still just talking about signs.
I did manage to get Dr. Razabi, he's
Yeah.
one of the owners of the property and of the development that went in there, in case anybody had any additional questions for him. It's a pretty straightforward request, and I just wanted to be here. I'm not sure what the concerns are, but if anybody has any, just let us know. I mean, I think I can allay the fears, whatever they are, because there's really such a minor request, to be honest with you, that I'm not sure what the issue is, if there is one.
Cool. I do. I mean, the only question I have is the same I've had last time you were here. That's not a turnaround. That's a four-way intersection. The road that's already been built plus two other roads, or that's
Well,
a
it's-
three-way intersection. It's
I
not
wouldn't
really
call
a
it-
turnaround.
I would call it a turnaround that would be an intersection in the future when the next phase is built. And the intersection in the future will be built when the next phase is built anyway. So there's nothing that's not happening now that is going to be changed in the future.
I don't know about that. But like I said, to me, on the drawing and everything, it's a four-way intersection is what it looks like to me.
There's no four-way back there. It just dead ends into the.
Well, there's supposed to be. There's going to be other roads. I mean,
But
that's the
not-
main drag. It's supposed to continue on. They've got plans to build other roads back there. I mean, it's on this picture as a four-way intersection, as clear as day.
Yeah, but in three directions, it's stubbed off and stopped, so it's three directions go nowhere. And
Okay.
Drake Drive is the only way to get there, and when you get there, you can't go anywhere.
But I'm like I said before, I'm assuming we've got plans laid out for the rest of them. I don't understand why we're going to vacate the intersection that basically feeds into all the other plans.
Because that all can still happen. There's nothing about this vacation that stops that from happening when the next phase is built. And that is when the next phase is built, it's gonna go off in another direction, one of those three legs that that you're looking at. And if you approve this vacation, when the next phase is built, you're gonna get the same result. And I'm not sure, I guess I'm not sure why what what result, I'm not sure I understand what you think will be different.
Well, I'm concerned that, I don't know what's gonna happen with the next phase. I've still not seen the plans for the next phase. I don't know.
Well,
what's
they've been
going on.
approved already, so they're there, and they go straight on the next phase. They go, Drake Drive continues through.
So if it's vacated, what happens to the plans that are already in place then, in your opinion?
If it's vacated right now, all the surrounding property around the vacation is owned by SAR, which the vacated property goes back to the surrounding owners. So it's basically in the same condition, the property configuration is in the same condition, it's all in the developer's hands. And he is completely able to continue that development. So there's no reason why under the next phase that this couldn't be built then. And what happens to the next phase that's already been approved? My guess is that something's gonna be changed, because I don't think the way the housing market is, I don't think they have any plans to develop it as such. But when it does get developed, if anything at all has changed, this is PUD zoning, and if anything at all has changed, this all comes back to Village of Amelia, and you guys can dictate whatever intersection, road configuration, anything you want.
Well, I think that's where our concerns lie, is in what was previously approved versus what it could change to.
Well, it can't change to anything without
Without
the
our
Village of
approval,
Amelia's
correct.
approval.
If I may
Yes.
add, can I add something here? I think our main problem here is the liability issue. Chief knows better than any one of us. What is going on is that we have this dead-end road here that we are trying to block kids to get their, unwanted people to get their cause trouble. If we open up this, if we build this, we are opening the whole area, nice area for the kids to drive. It will be a party place in the middle of the night or whatever time. And I'm concerned about the liabilities there. A couple of years ago, or maybe a year ago, somebody fell on the moped, broke arm. Nothing happened, thanks God, but I'm liable, probably you're liable to some extent. And most recently there was this big hole that it's like a very large hole that the kids made there, that if anybody passing through would fall down, that's liability. And other than that, they were making like kind of tunnel there, that if that tunnel collapsed, these kids could get killed. Like who knows how many kids would be down there. I don't know what the purpose of that would be. We had to bring somebody, pay quite a bit of money to fill it up. I can't believe that that kind of hole could be made there, but it's a liability for all of us. And if we finish this, it's extra work for the village to clean it up, to snow plow and all that, and it's not going to do any purpose. I don't care how you're going to do it, as long as you say, as long as you take the bond away, say, release the bond. If you want to leave it the way it is, you have no problem with it. All I care is, I don't want to open up that area because it would be impossible to get kids away from this land. And I'm scared to death of that. Chief probably could comment on this. I'm sure you see things happening there.
Yeah, we've had trouble, whether it's open or not. They're gonna get in there. And,
But my concern is that if we open up this area, it would be more difficult to get the kids away from there. But that's my reason. It's not serving any purpose. It's going to be adding liabilities, I think. It's going to add the cost to the village. I think if we take that bond away, it's a win-win situation for you, for me, and most importantly, we'll have less liability. That's my 2 cents. We are not trying to do anything to take away from the village. all you have to do is to take the bond away, land stay the way it is. We have no problem with that. I don't want to build that, I don't want to construct that intersection kind of thing, because we are opening up to, people could even drive with the SUVs over there. Right now, at least they're mopeds. If we open up this, the people could go with the trucks over there. So, I mean, how are we going to stop them? That's my point. I'll respect your opinion and see what is reasonable.
I mean, I think either way you go, whether you vacate or not, the kids are still gonna be an issue.
It is
As far as liability, I don't know where that's gonna put it any more liable on the village, whether it's vacated or not vacated.
That was my question. Yeah,
I
where's the
don't know why it
liability
would
gonna
be.
go where, once if it's vacated? Does it fall on us now?
No, if it's vacated, it becomes the petitioner's property and he has the liability issues.
But it still doesn't matter whether it's one way in or three ways. I mean, it doesn't matter how big the area is. You're still gonna have people in there, and we're not gonna be liable for people going in and once we post road closed signs. I mean, because that's what we're gonna do anyways. It's probably already what's down there, right?
Reducing your risk of liability. I mean, there's always something.
My other question is I know Pat Madel recommended the guardrails, and then I guess be signs at the end of there, and then a sign at the beginning going into the neighborhood. Where does the responsibility of paying for those items fall right now?
This ordinance before you is just the vacation, it's not releasing the bond. They would need to come back again to get release of the bond, and as part of that negotiation, you could make that a requirement of releasing the bond if that was what the council wanted to do.
And the bond amount is?
5,000, Pat told me. But we can put the signs up either way.
Whether we vacate it or not. Now, is there
It's a
anything?
dead end. I mean, it goes nowhere, it's a dead end road.
So now, does there, now he can't, there's no way for us to just leave it as it sits and settle up the bond with him, is there? It's gotta get constructed?
What do you mean, just leave it?
Yeah, as it sits, leave it on, not vacate the road, but not necessarily
I
build it
haven't
at the same
reviewed the
thing.
bond documents, but I'm sure there's an expiration date or something on them to, I mean, I don't know that you want to just leave it sitting there unimproved or partially improved.
Okay.
Probably make a determination of if you're gonna require it to be built out as it was platted, or if you're gonna allow the vacation.
So if we basically, if it's vacated, then he could possibly sell that property. They could reconstruct something else, but they would have to bring it back here to council to get the approval, as long as it met our zoning. So if it met our zoning we have now currently, and he came back with another proposal, we would basically have to accept it as long as it fit the guidelines of the zoning, right?
Right, and your subdivision
And
regulations.
subdivision regulations.
The only thing you're missing is that it's a PUD zoning, so there is no set out zoning regulations. It's kind of, no matter what they do, they've got to come back to you.
It's what council approves under the.
Yes, there is no, they can't, they can't do anything unless you approve it.
But if we vacate this, technically Drake Drive becomes a dead-end road, right?
Yes, but
Okay.
it's how it's platted right now. You come to an intersection.
Yeah, but it's, I realize it's an intersection that goes nowhere, but it's still an intersection.
Yes.
Anybody else have anything?
Sounds to me like we're making a mountain out of a molehill. Just ignore it. In my opinion. We've ignored it all this time.
Anybody else have any other comments? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
This time I'll go ahead and read Amelia Village, Ohio ordinance 0-2012-23, An ordinance by the Council of Amelia Village authorizing the vacation of a portion of Drake Drive. This is the third reading, so at this time I need a motion.
I guess I'll make the motion.
What would be the motion that you would like to make?
Do I get a choice? 'Cause I know which way I want to go on, or we just make a motion to,
Either accept or not accept the vacate of.
I'll make a motion to not accept.
I'll second it.
I think you're acting on the ordinance as it's written, so you probably want to make a motion to approve it if that's the motion. If you don't have a motion, you don't have a motion, and it would die for lack of action by council.
Okay. So I guess we'll change that to read, does anybody have a motion?
There is a motion on the floor that either has to be withdrawn.
I'll
or
withdraw it
there's a
then
fact
if
that-
it's,
I withdraw in a second.
What you could is, to take an official action, is to make a motion to approve and then see how the vote comes out.
I will at this time make a motion. I need a motion on the floor to approve.
So moved.
I have a first,
What are we approving?
The ordinance.
the ordinance.
so if you don't want it, I guess we gotta vote.
Okay. I'll second.
The motion is to bring it forward for council to consider.
Okay, I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second for the approval. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson,
Yeah.
Ms. Gerber,
Yay.
Mr. Poland,
No.
Mr. Campbell,
No.
Mr. Thacker,
No.
Ms. Elliott,
Yay.
Mr. Hurd, it's up to you. It's a 3-3 vote.
With a 3-3 vote, at this time I'll vote nay.
Fails 4-3 with the mayor voting no.
All right, moving on to the next ordinance. This will be a second reading, Amelia Village, Ohio, ordinance 0-2012-25, an ordinance enacting section 131.34 of the codified ordinances of Amelia Village, Ohio, establishing a littering regulations. That will be the second reading. I don't have it on the agenda, but at this time I'd like to do mayor's input, if council's okay with that. I've got a couple things I'd like to bring up.
Shoot.
The first thing is, we've got our old truck back there that's having some issues, our older plow truck. Ricky shut the door and the window fell out. So, we've got to do something. What I'm looking for council for is giving me authority to spend up to no more than $25,000 for the possibility of a used pickup, or basically a one-ton truck. And what we're hoping to do is we're also going to look at putting in a grant to possibly get a new plow truck to bring our truck up to speed for the snow, because we got lucky last year, very lucky with no snow. I'm not sure if we're going to get the same this year. So looking for a motion of council to be authorized to spend up to $25,000. Not that what I will, but I'll bring whatever we find, I'll bring it back to council and let you guys look at it.
I'll make that motion. We need it.
Second.
We gotta do something.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion?
So one-ton pickup truck, how big is that compared to
One-ton.
what we have?
Same.
Help me out, I'm not a
Same.
huge.
It's
is
the
that
same as like a
size?
350 or an F-350 or.
Oh, that's our,
Yeah.
the pickup truck, we're talking the red truck, not the.
No.
This
The
is
little-
plow.
The
Two
blue.
steps
The
up.
little
from the
dump
red
truck.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
Direct
little,
replacement.
okay, so it'd be the same size thing as what we have now.
Yeah.
Is that gonna include a dump bed and everything on it?
We hope to get a dump bed.
Yeah, if it's
Yes.
used, it would be, yeah.
Bob and myself went and looked at one in Troy last weekend, really, really looked good till we went and
it
saw it. And then after we saw it crawling under it, you could stick your fingers through the frame, and I said,
It had
it's not
holes
gonna
in the
work.
frame.
So, we thought we'd venture out and see what was out there, and, I think they were asking 10.5 for that one, or 10.6, and I went and drove it off the lot, so.
They'd have to give us money to take that one.
For the benefit of council members, we used to own a 1-ton truck, and it had 5-ton springs in it. We used it to haul grain, and we could put about 70 bushels of corn on the thing. So you can jack up the rear end to make it haul more than it's rated. You just have to do something to the engine to make sure it can pull it, but you know, a 1-ton truck can actually pull more than it's rated if you set up the springs and such.
And ideally, you find one that the plow on our old one would transfer. So you look at that first.
And that would be strictly a backup truck to a newer model for the plow season. Thank you for that. The second thing is, we are still.
There's no vote on it.
We need to vote.
We have a motion.
We have a motion and a second,
No vote.
roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Trying to get
Ms.
through
Gerber.
it
Yay.
quick.
Mr. Poland.
Now? Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Thanks. I'll slow down here.
Now you can move.
Now.
Basically, this is just for information. We are working on a sidewalk policy manual. We have gotten a copy from another entity, and it's a very good manual, and we're looking at that one. So hopefully at next council, we'll have something for council to look at. And also with a policy manual, Julie and I have been working really, really hard on that. So hopefully we'll have that for an addition for council to look at, to go over. The last thing I have is we have a piece of property. I'm sure you're all familiar with Hicks Lane. We have an easement that goes through Hicks Lane, and there's a lot of different things happening right now with the Kroger development and actually with Hicks Lane. And we're not quite sure on our survey or a title search. So really, I'm looking for council to make a motion to authorize to do a title search on that easement property down Hicks Lane.
We think it might be, we think it's right of way, but we need, the records are not that good because it was dedicated in the early 1900s, and it has been vacated at times, and I would recommend that we have someone who's familiar with real estate records do a title search to determine what is actually right of way that the village is responsible for.
Do we have approximate cost?
You know, no.
Not yet.
We wanted to do that and do a survey. Another reason being, there's some improvements going on the property unauthorized. If it's our right of way, then they shouldn't be down there making improvements to it. So we need to let them know that, you know, it is in fact our property, and we would like to definitely have, be able to show them exactly footage-wise and on a legal document that belongs to us, so.
I'd like to add to that title search a survey to go along with the title search. But like Julia said, the title search don't really amount to a whole lot, but a survey does. Put the pins in the ground.
So no, I don't have the actual cost of it, because I haven't ventured out to ask what they would do it for at this point. Yes.
Didn't someone that lives there come in a couple months ago about the property?
Yeah, a fence.
Yeah.
The fence and such? Okay.
So we've
I
had,
couldn't remember
There's been a
exactly what
couple
that was
issues.
about.
we've had a couple issues even before it gets to go any further than where it has. I think that's why it's important we do that.
I think it's very important we do that, yes.
I agree, but do we have even a remote ballpark kind of cost? Are we talking thousands of dollars here? Where are we? I feel like when we did title search on our house, it was like $50 or $100, but that was 10 years ago.
Right.
My experience in Hamilton County, title searches, depending on who does it, can be anywhere from $250 to $700, depending on whether it's residential, commercial. Survey, $1,000 to $1,500 would be a good starting spot. If it's a simple 4 straight
It's
lines,
just a.
it'll be at the
just a
low
straight
end.
Rectangle.
I think it's gonna be more than just a rectangle because of the vacations that have been done.
So what if we, I'm thinking maybe we give you $2,500 to start with and go from there?
That'd do it, for sure.
I think that would be, I would feel comfortable with that, would be able to get the work done.
So if there's no more discussion, we'll make a motion for that.
Motion for the 2,500 not to exceed for the title search and survey of the property.
Sounds good.
Second?
First and a second, any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, Kevin, please.
Mr. Dickerson,
Yay.
Ms. Gerber,
Yay.
Mr. Pollock,
Okay, yeah.
Mr. Campbell,
Yay.
Mr. Thacker,
Okay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Again, thank you. Public input, do we have any public input? No one wants to speak tonight? Council input. No council input. Next council meeting will be Tuesday, June 26th, 2012, at 7 p.m. If there's no other business, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.